It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Thursday evening to you, wherever you may be. A lot of streaks on the line, but the most important number, the Dodgers have 31 games left, including tonight, and 17 at home. For the Dodgers, 3.5 back of the Giants, playing Arizona 9.5 back. But now to the numbers. The Arizona Diamondbacks come in here having lost 6 straight, but they have beaten the Dodgers 6 straight, and they've beaten them 8 of the last 10. On the mound, Ian Kennedy looking for his 12th win. He's beaten the Dodgers 3 straight. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw looking for his 13th victory, and he has a streak. He's won 4 straight against Arizona here at Dodger Stadium. Phew. And with all of that, we'll get to the ball game. A whole lot more coming up right after this.
Hey, welcome back. We're moments away from first pitch here at Dodger Stadium. It's a packed house with Kenny Lofton, Steve Lyons, Patrick O'Neill here. Hyundai keys to the game is the matchup. Clayton Kershaw versus Ian Kennedy. We know how good these two lefties can be. Last time there was, it was interesting when they faced each other, some brushbacks. What do you expect?
Well, I think, again, it's a competition starting from last year. These guys were competing against each other last year, and I think this year was just another carryover to see what they can do against each other.
I beg your pardon. I meant to say righty with Ian Kennedy.
It's Vin's night.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Dodgers' night when it's all over.
Win it for Vin. How about that? We're going to step aside for a minute. When we come back, that man has the call. Vin Scully, stick with us.
for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Play $250,000 Sports Watch football at San Manuel. It's free to play. And by 76 Gas. We're on the driver's side. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Thursday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium as the Dodgers break the seal on a 7-game homestand, 4 with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the return of Kirk Gibson and his squad, and followed by the San Diego Padres. For Kirk's club, they have been struggling of late. They've lost 6 in a row, and the team batting average during that 6-game losing streak was only 176. However, that's just one side of the D-backs. The other side, they have beaten the Dodgers 8 out of 12. They've won 6 straight against the Dodgers. They've won 10 of the last 12 and 8 of 10 here at Dodger Stadium. So if 2 ball clubs, we'll see which one turns up tonight. Second baseman leading off Aaron Hill, shortstop Jake Elmore, and in right field Justin Upton. Hitting cleanup at first base, big Paul Goldschmidt. The catcher Miguel Montero. Chris Young will be in center field. Gerard O'Para in left field batting 7th. John McDonald at third base hitting 8th. And Ian Kennedy on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw, the 24-year-old, making his 3rd start of the season against the D-backs. He has a record of 1-1. However, the Dodgers have won 4 straight starts in which he has been involved against Arizona, and he is 7-3 lifetime. Coming off a very rocky, brief road trip, and no pun intended, when the Dodgers lost 2 out of 3 in Colorado, they now try to get well at home, and home has not been sweet home for the Dodgers at all. Kershaw's first pitch, fastball strike to Aaron Hill, and we're underway. Aaron Hill batting .294, 20 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Kershaw works quickly back with the ball that's hit in the air to left field. Rivera comes up and puts it away. 1 down. We'll take a look at the Dodgers with the leather right now, opening up against the D-backs. In the outfield, Juan Rivera, Shane Victorino, Andre Ethier, with Cruz, Ramirez, Punto, and Gonzalez on the infield, and A.J. Ellis handling Clayton Kershaw. A very warm, muggy evening. Temperature is 82 degrees and unusual humidity. We had thunder a couple of hours ago as Jake Elmore takes a strike. However, the thunder disappeared. We had an absolute beautiful rainbow in right field, and here we are under beautiful skies with 1 out in the first inning. And the pitch to Jake Elmore down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the D-backs have been 2 teams. They are 9.5 games behind the Giants, as Kershaw's 1-1 pitch, a bunt attempt, and that's going to be no swing, and they count 2 balls and 1 strike. Tim Timmons on the first base foul line, indicating no swing. We mentioned the Giants. The Astros are leading the Giants 4-3, bottom of the 6th inning. Giants were down 4-0, and they've gotten close. 2-1 pitch fouled away off to the right out of play, and the count 2-2. So Jake Elmore, one of the new faces on this Arizona ball club. You know, since the middle of July, they have switched 24 players, 14 pitchers, and 10 position players. 2-2 pitch is high to Elmore. So for Kirk Gibson, he's been wheeling and dealing with the front office, trying desperately to get back into the race. They are 9.5 games back right now. Meanwhile, Elmore out of Dothan, Alabama, went to Arizona State, and it's a high fly ball to deep left. Back goes Rivera to the track in front of the wall and makes the kill. Right behind him, 375. So 2 fly balls to left, 1 short, 1 long, and the batter now, Justin Upton. Justin Upton is a good young player, hitting .277. He has 11 home runs, 53 runs batted in, but the firm of Upton and Young the right fielder and center fielder, have not been able to handle Kershaw in the past. Clayton ready now, and the first pitch to Upton is taken off the plate, ball one. Upton against Kershaw is hitting .087. Chris Young is hitting .192. There are a couple of other fellas as Chris looks on from the dugout. Hunter Pence is hitting .048 against Kershaw. Starlin Castro, the shortstop for the Cubs, is 0-for-13. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, line down the right field line, slicing in the corner, bouncing up into the stands for a ground rule double. So Upton, a 2-out double to right, and that will bring up Paul Goldschmidt. For the Dodgers, they have a rough schedule as they try to catch the Giants. They not only have 4 with Arizona, 3 with San Diego, and you might think, well, that's not too tough. But then they have 4 here with St. Louis, and then they go out on the road and play Washington and Cincinnati. So it is a very, very rough road for Adrian Gonzalez and company. And tonight, Gonzalez and Ramirez without Matt Kemp. Kershaw working on Goldschmidt. Big first baseman takes a breaking ball low, hitting .286, 18 home runs, and 66 runs batted in. He has 10 of his 18 home runs against left-hand pitching. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Kershaw looked back at Upton, back to the plate, fastball inside, ball 2. Not only does Goldschmidt punish left-handers with the 10 home runs, 13 times he's come up with a runner at second base and singled him in. So we're just starting. Diamondbacks, Dodgers, top of the first, 2 out and no score. Kershaw is set, ready, the 2-0 pitch, and that's inside, ball 3. Waiting on deck is the veteran catcher and left-hand batter, Miguel Montero. Would he be pitching around Goldschmidt? Well, Goldschmidt's 0-for-7 against him. Montero is 2-for-14. The 3-0 pitch, and he certainly could be green-lighted. Instead, it's way inside, ball 4. One thing you can count on throughout tonight, and for that matter throughout the series, you have a former outfielder, an aggressive player in Kirk Gibson. It's reflected in the fact that his hitters swing 3-0. He's given the green light 34 times. In percentage, that is 277% higher than the National League average. So if you're playing the D-backs and behind 3-0 to the hitter, be careful. So here is Montero, 2 on, 2 out, and the first pitch to Miggy, as they call him, in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Montero, not only a fine player, hitting .276, 14 home runs, 74 runs batted in. He's also a #1 good guy. He wins the Good Guy Award given by the press in Arizona. The strike 1 pitch, instead, Kershaw backs off the rubber, but just for a moment. So Upton at second, Goldschmidt at first, and 0-1 the count to Montero. Out of a high stretch, as usual, goes Kershaw. Strike 1 pitch is taken in there. 0-2 the count. Montero with his 74 runs batted in, not arguing. I think he's having a little chat with A.J. Ellis, not the plate umpire, Marty Foster. 0-2 the count. Montero back up. Kershaw trying to get out of a first inning scrape. And the strike 2 pitch, fastball low and away, ball 1. So Kershaw working against an all-star. Montero, the all-star catcher in 2011. Clayton staring in, getting a sign. Upton with the double at second. Goldschmidt with the walk at first. 2 out, 1-2 the count to Montero. Clayton ready, here he comes. Curveball swung on and missed in the dirt. Picked up by Ellis, and the out recorded at first. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of half an inning, D-backs nothing, Dodgers coming up. Up at second base. Shane Victorino is in center field. Matt Kemp is banged up. Doubtful that he would start. Even doubtful that he might appear in the game, but it remains to be seen. Adrian Gonzalez at first base. Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop, hits cleanup. Andre Ethier in right field. Luis Cruz at third base. Juan Rivera in left field. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound for Arizona, Ian Kennedy, a local boy, born in Huntington Beach, still lives there, went to USC. Last year, he was a remarkable 21-game winner. He's 11-11 tonight. And the right-hander's first pitch is strike to Nick Punto. For Kennedy, last year, an earned run average of 2.8. This year, an earned run average of 4.4. Strike one pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 0-2. For Kennedy, 21-4 last year, 11-11 this year. Nick Punto had that stretch, 3 walks, then he had a base hit, then he scored a run. He was busy, but hitting just 200. Into the windup goes Kennedy, and the strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Nick. So 1 away here in the first inning. One of the big problems, let's face it, that the Dodgers are faced with as we look at the Arizona club defensively, Power, Young, and Upton, McDonald, Elmore, Hill, and Goldschmidt on the infield, and the battery of Montero and Kennedy. The big problem is the Dodgers are not doing well at home, and you don't usually do anything but go home if you're not successful at home. Kennedy looks over the fingertips of his glove. Victorino, batting left-handed, swings and lifts the first pitch into shallow center. Going out is Elmore, and the shortstop makes the catch for the second out. You remember in April and May, through the 27th of May, the Dodgers were 21-5 at home. That's the way you win a pennant. You play 500 on the road. However, since May 28th, the Dodgers have gone south. They are 14-24 at home. So among other things, they're also under 500 within the Western Division. It might be a shock for you to know that Arizona has a better record in the division, and of course the Giants have a much better record within the division. So we have 2 out here in the first inning. Adrian Gonzalez checking in. Into the windup goes Kennedy, and the fastball is away. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. For Adrian Gonzalez, just 2 for 10 in the past against Kennedy. Ian turns, ready, and the 1-0 pitch on the way is fouled back. Kennedy is an even 6, 195. And for Adrian Gonzalez, looks like he's done a little barbering. The mustache. He's clean as a whistle. hitting .250 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, and Adrian takes a strike, and the count 1-2. So Gonzalez with 2 out and the bases empty, facing Ian Kennedy, a 21-game winner. Henry Ramirez on deck. And the 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on, fouled off his foot. Couple of notes about Kennedy. His earned run average at home is over 5. That's up from an ERA of 2.5 last year. Though something dramatic has happened to him at home. One reason, he has given up 26 home runs. He is number 1 in the league. Ian kind of in a crouch as he looks in. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way is a change, swung on and missed, and down goes Gonzalez. So at the end of an inning, it's the Diamondbacks nothing and the Dodgers nothing. The Astros led the Giants 4-0. Then they led them 4-3. Now in the top of the 7th inning, it's 4-4. Pablo Sandoval singled in the tying run. Marco Scudero, who had doubled with 2 outs, scores the run, and that 4-0 deficit has been erased. Second inning, and Chris Young, the boy from Houston, checking in. Chris, right-hand batter, takes a pitch high, ball 1, 1-0. Young has had a lot of trouble, as we mentioned, against Kershaw. He's hitting about 160 in his career at Dodger Stadium. Way out in front of a pitch, and the count 1-1. For Chris Young, hitting .223, 13 home runs, 36 runs batted in. And the 1-1 pitch on the way, breaking ball dips in, high part of the strike, and the count 1-2. So the Dodgers looking to Kershaw to make some good things happen in a place where it has not happened. The 1-2 pitch, fastball away, swung on and missed, and down goes Young. Fastball looked like it was out of the strike zone up here. Chris seemed to chase it, go outside after it, and on the replay, absolutely right. Second strikeout for Kershaw, 1 out, and now Gerardo Parra coming up. So Parra hitting .277. He has 6 home runs, 32 runs batted in, from Venezuela. And you may remember he had a pitch thrown behind him. He then hit a home run. He watched the pitch go out. Clayton was mad at him, etc. Well, that was another game in another year, and Parra fouls it away, and the count 0-1. Gerardo Parra, 35 years old, from Venezuela. If he gets at second base, chances are he would try to steal third. He's that kind of a player. He takes inside. Hitting .277 and playing over Jason Kubel. Jason Kubel had been one of the big guns, but he is chilled out. So Parra is playing. The 1-1 pitch is taken low. 2-1 the count. Kershaw, long look in. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way, and Parra swings, doesn't get it, and the count 2-2. Kershaw very deliberate, maybe on the muggy evening, trying to conserve his strength. Light breeze blowing out to right field, and the 2-2 pitch on the way is a little low. Parra does hold up. 3-2. Eric Koopa over there on the third base foul line. 3-2 the count. Parra heaves a little sigh. Now gets back in. Waiting, hitting behind Parra, John McDonald. 3-2 pitch on the way. Foul back. We told you that Parra would steal third base if given the slightest opportunity. He also has some troubles on the base paths. As Kirk Gibson and Alan Trammell watch him, Parra's been picked off base 8 times. The 3-2 pitch on the way. That's strike 3 called. That is Koufax. That is Kershaw's third consecutive strikeout. And the batter now will be John McDonald. So Clayton with 2 outs, second inning, no score in the ball game, and McDonald checking in. John hitting .231, 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in, been in about 45 games. And the first pitch to him in for a strike, and the count 0-1. John McDonald is from New London, Connecticut. He lives in Ohio now. He went to Providence College and was originally drafted by the Indians quite a while ago. He's 38 years old come September. He takes low. 1-1 the count. Johnny Mack, as they call him. Growing up in Connecticut, big Yankee fan. I'm sure he has a lot of feelings when he sees Don Mattingly. The 1-1 pitch in there. 1-2 the count. Two down, bases empty, second inning, no score. Kershaw into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch is a fastball low and inside. 2-2. The Diamondbacks coming off one of their worst homestands when they went 2-8. And one reason, Gibby's club hit 176. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. The out has to be recorded at first. So Clayton Kershaw strikes out the side. He now has 4 Ks in a row. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score.
forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Bottom of the second inning, no score on a hot, steamy night. It reminds you of St. Louis, Cincinnati, New York, Philadelphia. It's as if Southern California has gone east. Meanwhile, Ian Kennedy ready to work to Hanley Ramirez. First ball swinging, pops it up. Third baseman John McDonald puts it away. 1 out, second inning. Well, the Giants were down 4-0, tied at 4-4. Now they have taken the lead. Hunter Pence had a 2-run single, and the Giants lead the Astros 6-4. The Giants have been absolutely phenomenal on the road since the All-Star break. Nothing Mattingly can do about it. The Giants are 16-5 on the road since the break. Andre Ethier hitting .292 with 1 out, second inning, no score. Kennedy looks in, getting a sign from Montero. Ian ready, and the tall right-hander works a strike at the knees, 0-1. As far as Andre Ethier is concerned, he is 4 for 15 with a home run against Kennedy. The hitter who has given Kennedy a bad time with 2 home runs is Matt Kemp. Strike one pitch is off the plate, 1-1 the count. So the Dodgers are in that zone right now, and it is bleak and black. The fact that they have Chad Billingsley on the DL, they have Scott Elbert on the DL, 1-1 pitch is in there, 1-2. They have Matt Kemp banged up, but he figures to get back. And, of course, the big question, and no one knows the answer to that except perhaps a cardiologist, and that would be Kenley Jansen. The 1-2 pitch on the way, and that's taken in the dirt, 2-2. The unseen enemy. You can have all the money, you can have all the talent, you can be in great shape when you leave spring training. But over the course of the season, the unseen enemy certainly is injury. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kennedy ready and deals. Swung on. Line drive foul into the chairs down along the right field foul line. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. For the Dodgers, and talking about assignments to DL, they're tied with the Padres behind the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox 34 times they've used the DL. The Dodgers and the Padres 24 apiece. 2-2 pitch on the way is high. Andre started off and held up. 3-2 the count to Andre Ethier. Andre back up and waiting. He was 4 for 11 in Colorado. And the 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, drive going foul down the right field line. Well back and well foul. And a broken bat, though Andre will have to get another. Ethier has been swinging a good bat, and if he's been using that one, I'm sure he feels upset that he had to lose it. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games, hitting way over 500. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and a half a dozen runs batted in. He's been kind of a one-man gang. Though Andre back up, Breeze blowing out to right, and the 3-2 pitch. Ethier swings and misses and strikes out. So that is the 3rd strikeout for Ian Kennedy. Kershaw has 4, and we have 2 out, and Luis Cruz coming up. A reminder, Labor Day, Monday, Dodgers and Padres at 5:10. Spend time with family and friends. Enjoy $1 Dodger dogs. Compliments of our friends at Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Leave the grilling to us. Luis Cruz waits at the plate. Kennedy's first pitch drops in for a strike. The lovely column by T.J. Simers in the L.A. Times, a tribute to a fella who pretty much has been overlooked, but he is indeed a remarkable story. Strike one pitch. Luis swings, lines it to left center, going back, reaching up and making the catch is par. So Cruz continues to be a tough out. A line drive deep to left. And at the end of 2, no score. He will lead it off in the third inning. The Arizona pitcher is not much with the bat. He has just 3 hits in 39 at bats. He has struck out 22 times, but with all those low numbers, he's walked 9 times. He takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Kennedy stands an even 6, about 195, hitting 0.77. Kershaw, who's been a good hitting pitcher, comes back with a fastball low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Working on Kennedy, a Trojan from USC. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Ian backs off, takes a breaking ball, and a 1-2 count. For Kennedy, he was originally drafted by the Cardinals out of La Quinta High School at Huntington Beach, but he opted to go to USC. And the 1-2 pitch way off the plate, 2-2. And then he was a very big man on campus, dominating college hitters. And the Yankees made him a first-round pick, but he swings and misses, strikes out. So all of a sudden, Kershaw has now struck out 5 in a row. He got Montero to end the first, then he struck out the side, Young, Parra, and McDonald, and now he gets Kennedy. And the batter will be Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill rarely swings at the first pitch. There are an awful lot of fellows who are the other way around. Right-hand batter looks and pays a strike. 0-1. Hill runs well enough to have 22 infield hits. The strike 1 pitch on the way. That's off the plate. Aaron Hill is from Visalia. Went to school, however, at LSU. 1-1 pitch on the way. Line drive down the left field line. Base hit. Chasing it is Rivera. Hill is around first and holds on as Rivera makes a wonderful play to hold Hill to a single. Juan Rivera coming over to get the ball, and then he threw an arrow to Hanley Ramirez. And for Hill, he wisely held up at first base. So Rivera guns it in right on the money to Ramirez. So a 1-out single for Aaron Hill. And the batter now will be Jake Elmore. One out. We're in the third inning. No score. Giants are winning. That's bad news for the Dodgers. Dodgers, when you think about it, their biggest opponent will be time. Dodgers running out of games after tonight. 30 left and only 16 left at home. Kershaw out of his stretch, looking over again, now to the plate, inside at the ribs. 1 ball and no strikes to Jake Elmore. Arizona hitters do several things that are very well respected in the game. They work deep in counts. We mentioned the fact they will swing 3-0 than any other ball club in the league. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Elmore, and that's taken for a strike, and the count 1-1. In the games here, you know, we mentioned that Arizona has won 10 of the last 13 at Dodger Stadium. Their pitchers have held the Dodgers to an earned run average of 2.5. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hill takes his lead. No score. Kershaw goes over there. Clayton does a terrific job of controlling a running game. In his career, the success rate is only 55%. He's picked off 33. No score. Top of the third. Kershaw from the stretch, and he does stretch. The 1-1 pitch on the way, a bunt attempt, and they leave it in Ellis's mitt. 1-2 the count to Elmore. So Jake looks down to Matt Williams, checking to see if there's a play on. Meanwhile, Hill doing the same from first. Elmore at 5'10", 180, bends at the knee slightly and at the waist. There goes the runner. The pitch is poked behind Ramirez, who goes back to get it, throws on a bounce, too late. So Ramirez broke as Elmore hit the ground ball, and going back to get it was Hanley Ramirez. A little bit interesting that with a right-hand batter up, the shortstop broke to cover. That's not usually the way it works. And when you look at the Dodger infield, I wonder if Ramirez was the one who made a mistake, because on the play, the second baseman, Punto, broke immediately. And Ramirez, for whatever reason, broke as well. Almost 9.9 out of 10. A right-hand batter, the second baseman will cover. And Ramirez broke and then couldn't come back and get it. So it's an infield single, 3 hits for the Diamondbacks. And now here's Justin Upton, and he takes ball 1. The Diamondbacks, as we mentioned earlier, have swapped and or welcomed 24 different players. They are a team definitely in transition. They are 9.5 back. It doesn't mean they've given up, but they are certainly getting ready for the future. 1-0 pitch on the way. Upton takes a high strike. 1-1 the count. When you go to Arizona, that's all you read. How they're going to trade Upton. How they're going to hold on to Gerardo Parra and Miguel Montero and all of the others. But you always hear they're going to trade Upton. Chris Young once in a while. 1-1 the count to Justin. 1 out, 3rd inning, no score. Kershaw ready. Pitch foul back to the screen. Good fastball at 93. And Upton did not get around on it. Upton, of course, started as a wonder, Kent. I mean, from the time he was in high school, he was the #1 athlete. According to Baseball America, he was the best athlete, the best 5-tool talent, best pure hitter, fastest runner, best defensive play. He had it all. 1-2 the count to Justin. Kershaw's big overhand curveball. Strike 3 called. So Upton is caught looking. That's 6 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw with 2 out in the 3rd inning. So that big rainbow curveball, and that froze Upton. So 2 on, 2 out, and now Paul Goldschmidt. Again, we repeat, Goldschmidt had 18 home runs, 10 against left-handers. He walked on a 3-0 pitch in the 1st inning. Goldschmidt 0 for 7 in the past, striking out 4 times against Kershaw. Clayton wants Ellis to go over the signs again. So timeout. No runs, 3 hits for the D-backs, nothing across for the Dodgers. Another good battle between the K-men, Kershaw and Kennedy, and Goldschmidt fouls it back. Kennedy and Kershaw have really taken turns beating each other. Kershaw has won the last matchup. Kennedy has won 1, and Kershaw has won twice, this being their 4th meeting. 0-1 the count. Kershaw, who really believes in the word stretch, comes back with a fastball that jumps in there. So he drilled the zone. We're going to check the count. Now it's right. 0-2. Aaron Hill at second. Jake Elmore at first. 2 out. Kershaw from his stretch. And the strike 2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball down and off the plate. Little slider, 1-2 the count. We mentioned that on a good night, Arizona will get deep into the count. Among other things, D-backs have 4 grand slams this year. And they're very high in getting walks. Kershaw ready, checks the runners. 1-2 pitch, swung on and fouled away. Diamondbacks have had a lot of trouble on 1-run games. They are 10-20 in 1-run games, and they just don't seem to be able to score in the late innings in those games. Interestingly enough, they won their first 3 games of the season by 1 run. 1-2 with no score in this one. Kershaw ready, checks the runners and thinks better of it and backs off the rubber. So you have Elmore at first, Hill at second. Meeting at the mound, A.J. Ellis and Clayton Kershaw. Game 1 of the series. The pitchers, Trevor Cahill and Aaron Harang. That'll be tomorrow night. Tyler Skaggs and Josh Beckett. That'll be Saturday at 6:10. And Sunday, the concluding game of the series, left-hander Wade Miley and left-hander Chris Capuano. 1-2 to Paul Goldschmidt. Kershaw deals, fastball in the dirt, pushed out in front of the plate, and the runners hold. Goldschmidt, who has socked 18 home runs, has also struck out 108 times. In fact, the Diamondbacks are so aggressive, Goldschmidt has struck out 108. Johnson has struck out 113. Kubel has struck out 128. Montero has struck out 100. Upton has struck out 103. So Don Baylor can't be very happy about that at all. Pickoff play, but not in time. Close, but no cigar. Punto got to the bag, and Hill just did get back under. So Kershaw quick, and Hill with his right hand gets it on the bag. By the way, Joaquin Arias has homered in the 7th inning. The Giants are leading the Astros now 7-4 in the 8th inning. All right, deuces wild. Kershaw ready. 2-2 pitch is hit in the air to right field. Kershaw watching Ethier put it away. And for the D-backs, no runs, 2 hits and 2 left. And at the end of 2.5 innings, no score. Valuable left arm. He has struck out 6, so 6 of the 9 outs have been strikeouts. No score, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd. For Clayton, he's now made 56 pitches in the game. Ian Kennedy will be pitching to Juan Rivera, A.J. Ellis, and then Clayton Kershaw. There are a couple of trends about Kennedy and watching him develop as a fine young pitcher. Watching him become a 20-game winner last year. Against the National League West, he is absolutely dynamite in his career, 18-6. Ian looks in, getting a sign from Montero. And the right-hander ready and deals. Rivera takes way off the plate. Another thing about Ian Kennedy is Rivera brings a .243 batting average, 7 home runs, 42 runs batted in. he is always much better after the All-Star break. The 1-0 pitch off the plate. Before the break in his career, he is 19-20. After the All-Star break, 23-9. Ian Reddy in the 2-0 pitch on the way to Rivera, and he takes a look at a strike. 2-1 the count. No score, bottom of the third. You would expect that kind of a game when Kennedy and Kershaw go at it. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's a ground ball to short. At the other end of it is Jake Elmore. Winds up and gets it over to first. 1 away. Say, friends, you know, Saturday at 6:10, the second Natural Balance Back of the Park of the season. Purchase this special ticket package for you and your dog. Reserve tickets to the Coca-Cola All-You-Can-Eat Pavilion. You'll get a goodie bag and so much more. Tickets are limited, only available by purchasing at Dodgers.com/barkinthepark. A.J. Ellis coming off a grand slam home run in Colorado, hitting .283 with 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. A.J. Ellis 3 for 9 while in Colorado. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and A.J. takes way off the plate. It's not as if he has come up with a lot of hits with the bases loaded. That was his first and only in 8 at-bats with standing room only on the infield. He made it a good one with the slam. 2-0 pitch, and that's low. So 3-0 to Ellis. 1 out, third inning. Kennedy has retired 7 in a row. Clayton Kershaw waiting on deck. Kennedy ready, and his 3-0 pitch, and that's taken down the pipe. 3-1 the count. No score, bottom of the third. D-backs 9.5 back of the Giants. Dodgers 3.5 back, and the Giants leading comfortably against Houston. And there's ball 4 to Ellis. So A.J. gets the walk, and here comes Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw not only pitching well, he's been hitting the ball very well in the month of August. When you look at Dodger good hitters having a fine month, Kershaw in August is hitting .583. What that means is 7 for 12. They're looking bunt even though there's 1 out, and he bunts foul back to the screen. He is a very good bunter. Kershaw has sacrificed 12 times. Chris Capuano 13. And as far as the hitters having big months, Dan Bankhead .583, Oral Hershiser .571, Tim Leary and Sloppy Thurston .538. Thurston played 80 years ago. Strike 1 pitch on the way. The bunt is down. Montero's on it, guns it to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. So Kershaw drops a poached egg out in front of the plate, and Montero nails his man at second. I think Miguel thought they had a good shot at a double play. He got it down there, and then Elmore made a good play to save it from going into center field. So the reason Montero was a little annoyed, he was annoyed at himself. If Montero throws a strike towards second base, they get the DP. But the inning is still alive, and the batter is Nick Punto, who struck out in the first inning. Dodgers playing without Matt Kemp, and that is bad news, and certainly statistically. Matt unable to answer the bell tonight. The pitch to Punto in for a strike. When Matt Kemp is in the starting lineup, the Dodgers are 45-32. When they are playing without him, they're 25-29, 4 games under. So he is sorely missed, and no pun intended. 0-1 the count to Nick Punto. Nick backs off, the pitch low, switch hitter, batting left-handed, hitting just 167. Punto's been around a long time and does not have a reputation of being a good hitter. he does have a reputation of being a marvelous defensive player. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kennedy ready and comes back, gets a strike. Last year with the Cardinals, Punto hit .278 in 60 games. Kennedy trying to get him and end the inning. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Shane Victorino on deck. Game 1 of the 4-game series with the baby backs, as they call their pitching staff over in Phoenix. 1-2 pitch, swung on, fouled away off to the left and out of play. Nick Punto, born in San Diego, lives in Mission Viejo, was originally drafted by the Phillies out of Saddleback Junior College. Had a couple of years with the Phils, then a career, about 7 years with the Twins, then the Cardinals, the Red Sox, and the Dodgers. 1-2. Punto hitting left-handed against Kennedy, then out holding Kershaw with 2 out. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Nick strikes out a second time. That means 4 strikeouts for Kennedy, and at the end of 3, no score. Started with Miguel Montero in the first inning, and he went down on a breaking ball. Then it was a matter of Parra and Young and McDonald, and then in the 3rd inning he nailed Upton as well as Kennedy, and that was that. So he goes to the 4th inning, having struck out 6, having allowed 3 hits. By the way, Ian Kennedy has not allowed a hit through his 3, while striking out 4. Miguel Montero started off. And he strokes it to right. Ethier with the ball over his head has to play it off the base of the wall. Montero is on his way for 2, and he is in there with a double. So Montero's 19th double as he hits it over Ethier's head. A couple of balls that were hit well in the first inning. That ball was up out over the plate about at the belt, and Montero just hit it directly over Andre Ethier's head to the base of the wall. So a runner at second, that would be the 2nd double for Arizona. D-backs now have 4 hits, and here's Chris Young. Chris Young is a story of what can happen. He started the year off a house of fire. He really was playing up to his talents. And then, like Matt Kemp, he crashed into a wall in pursuit of an extra base hit, and he has never been the same since coming back. 1 ball and no strikes to Chris. Matt can relate. as he listens to Chris Capuano. Young will be 29 next week. Shows bunt. When Chris Young first started in the big leagues, amazing. He was the first rookie to have a 30 home run, 25 stolen base season in Major League history, the first rookie. Illustrate more about what happened ever since he hurt himself, fouled away. When Chris Young, before the injury, he was hitting .410. He had 5 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Since the return, he has 6 home runs, 16 runs batted in, and hitting in the 170s. Trying to pick up Montero from second. He has 36 runs batted in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Good fastball at 93 up and in. 2-2 the count to Chris. 6'2", 185, and A.J. Ellis out there to do a little more talking. Young will be followed by Gerardo Parra. D-backs do a lot of scoring at home. They're below average scoring on the road. Two and two. And that's a drive to left field down the line, heading for the stands at the foul pole. Gone. Home run for Chris Young. And just like that, D-backs are on the board, leading 2-0. So Chris Young touching them all as he just does hook it inside the foul pole. That would be his 14th home run. He has 38 runs batted in, and the D-backs are out in front. For Clayton Kershaw, that would be the 15th home run that he has allowed. You can see Young wasn't sure. He had to go back and step on first. He had Eric Young hollering, make sure you touch them all. And now Paul Goldschmidt giving him a hug. Of course, the D-back players understand the bunt foul off the bat of Parra. I mean, they know what kind of a player he is, what kind of a player he was, and they know what happened to him when he gave it his all, crashing into the wall. It's the same thing with Matt Kemp. The greatest respect to get is from your teammates, and Young has it, and certainly Matt has it for the Dodgers. Arizona also has it. It's a 2-run lead. So Clayton Kershaw is burned, and it's 2-0 Arizona. 2-1 the count to Parra. Gerardo struck out in the second inning. Two and one. And that's a line drive over a leaping Gonzalez down the line. Ethier over to get it. Parra makes a turn and holds with a line drive single. The very first inning, you may remember, Jake Elmore hit a long out to left field and then Upton doubled. And now here in the 4th inning, Montero a long double followed by a line drive home run followed by a line drive single. So Kershaw, who was throwing strikes and getting outs, is throwing strikes now and getting hurt. So Young looks on. D-backs lead 2-0. And here's John McDonald. McDonald struck out in the second inning. And they have got, is there a balk? I think they're going to call balk on Kershaw. Yep, they are. Kershaw can't believe that he was called for balking, but that's the call by Tim Timmons. For Kershaw, That will be his second balk of the year. Don Mattingly going out. Any left-hander who has a good move, who has great numbers for pickoffs, you know that he's always shading the balk rule. And of course, the better move you have, the more closely you are watched by the umpires. And for Timmons, he felt that he had balked. So Parra is at second, nobody out, 2-0 in favor of Arizona. The crew chief, Eric Cooper. So this is a pretty young staff. Timeout for the moment. For Clayton Kershaw in his career, take a look. Set. I'm not quite sure. Take another look from here. Anyway, it's in the books as a balk. The Parra is at second, 2-0 Diamondbacks. McDonald, Kennedy, and Hill due up in that order. So 7 balks in his young career charged to Clayton Kershaw. Well, you can bet if you control the running game as he has, he's been shading that rule throughout his career. All good left-handers do it. A broken bat, a one-hopper. Ramirez has to go back, bounce his throw, not nearly in time. So McDonald gets a broken bat single on the infield. And holding at second with the ball hit ahead of him was Parra. So now Kennedy is coming up with the broken bat single, putting runners at first and second. There was no play by Cruz, and Ramirez had to go back and get it, bounce the throw, and McDonald beats it easily. So a double, a home run, a single, a balk, a single. The Dodgers in trouble, and it's an obvious bunt situation. In looking at Ian Kennedy with the bat, we told you he obviously has a pretty good eye for the strike zone to have walked 9 times. He has struck out about half the time, but he does have a half a dozen sacrifices. So in this spot, first and second and nobody out, the Dodgers are not only anticipating the bunt, they can set up a play. The play usually, the first and third baseman charge the plate, shortstop goes to cover third, and the second baseman covers first. But then they can take it off, change it the other way, lull the runners into thinking that's the way they're playing, and reverse the call. So let's see. That's a strike. This time, Ramirez going to the bag, Punto going to first, and Cruz in on the grass. He backed up at third. 0-1 the count. Cruz playing caddy corner. Gonzalez up in front of the runner. And that's a strike. So Kennedy shows bunt, takes 2, and he's in a hole. 0-2. Matt Williams, third base coach. Eric Young over at first. EY. Well, let's see if the bunt's still on with 2 strikes. He's going to show it, and ball 1. Kennedy taking a long look. Parra, remember, is a very adventuresome base runner and base stealer. So if he catches Cruz coming in, the door's open. He's liable to try to steal third. The bunt is down. The play has to be to Cruz. Fine bunt, and that advances the runners to second and third. So Kennedy does the job, gets the bunt down.
Batting next, number 2, Aaron Hill.
And the batter now is Aaron Hill with first base open. Hill, among other things, we told you, rarely swings at the first pitch. That doesn't mean he doesn't, but rarely. He gets in the count, favorable count a lot, 2-0, and he has 22 infield hits. Infield about halfway. Second and third, 2-0 D-backs, and ball one. 1-0 to Aaron Hill. Fastball right at the bill of the helmet. Hill, as we told you, will now get an intentional walk. And that'll bring up Jake Elmore, who has flied out and had an infield single. So Kershaw will walk his second. Bases loaded, 1 out, and the batter Elmore.
Now batting number 14,
Among other things,
Jake
in
Elmore.
looking at Elmore's numbers, he has just 1 run batted in. He had only struck out 3 times, and he has not hit into a double play. So we'll see. You have Parra, McDonald, and Kennedy all out there with 1 out. I said Kennedy, make it Hill. Strike. 0-1. So Montero doubled and Young homered. Parra singled and was balked to second. McDonald broke his bat and got a base hit. Kennedy sacrificed, and Hill was walked intentionally. Time. No balls, 1 strike. It's 2-0 Arizona. Line drive home run by Chris Young just inside the left field foul pole. 0-1. 0-2. On deck after Elmore is Justin Upton. So considering the fact that Hill is a veteran hitter, they put him aboard. They're going after Elmore, and no doubt thinking that in the past, certainly, Kershaw has pitched very well against Upton despite that first inning double. 0-2 to Elmore. Ground ball to the right side. They'll get 1. They will get 2. Boy, what a feed by Nick Punto to get that ball relaxed, confidently to Hanley Ramirez. Maybe we can take a look at it before we leave. Right now it's 2-0 Arizona. Brought to you by Hyundai Summer Drive Sales Event, now through September 3rd. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. Confidence and accuracy. Watch Punto's speed on that ground ball to Hanley Ramirez to start the double play. It's not backhanded, but what? Look at that. And a perfect throw. Meanwhile, Victorino takes ball one. Why is Punto playing over Mark Ellis, you might ask? No particular reason except to give him a game, keep him sharp. That's a strike. 1-1 to Shane. Popped up in the first inning. And that's going to go up the middle, base hit. So Victorino goes 1 for 2 with a single to center. That'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez and then Hanley Ramirez. Hanley and teammate Adrian with 34 RBIs each since the last week in July. Chase Headley will see following this series when San Diego comes in. All right, here's Gonzalez hitting .238, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. And a strike, 0-1. When Adrian was at Boston, he had 15 home runs, 86 runs batted in, and he was hitting .300. No balls and 1 strike. D-backs lead 2-0. Check swing, no swing, says Eric Cooper. 1-1. So Ian Kennedy, who turned down the Cardinals, went to SC and signed with the Yankees, made it to the Yankees, and came over to the D-backs in '09. Nice save by Goldschmidt. Joe Torre was the manager of the Yankees, and before the 2007 series, he set his wedding for October the 6th. That'd be right in the middle of the division series. Change up. Adrian trying too hard to go after that. 1-2. Torre said, we just hope his prospective wife is very understanding, when the team was right in the thick of a wild card chase. And then Ian learned that the wedding would not be any problem at all. 1-2. Popped up left side. Third baseman McDonald. So Gonzalez pops it up, 1 away. And the batter will be Hanley Ramirez.
Batting box number 13, Hanley Ramirez.
Hanley Ramirez popped up in the second inning. Dodgers struggling at home. Finds them suddenly 14-24 since the end of May. And 3 games under 500 within the division. Victorino, of course, an excellent base stealer. He's stolen 31 out of 37. Fastball missed. Ian hits 90 on the gun. Ramirez batting .255. Kennedy's wife Allison gave birth to their first child, and the next day Kennedy pitched his first big league shutout. (2-0). Basically, Kennedy with a fastball, curve, cutter, change. The big thing, Kennedy feels he can throw every pitch for strikes. He's walked 42 and struck out, counting tonight, He struck out 148. Now he's 3-0 to Ramirez. Well, Kirk Gibson, we mentioned, has his ball club swinging 3-0 more than anybody else in town. So we'll see if the Dodgers get a pitch for Hanley to go 3-0, and if not, you have Andre Ethier on deck. 3 balls and no strikes. Ramirez 22 home runs. That's going to be on the outside corner. Hanley thought it was ball 4, but he's not arguing. Nice job of Miguel Montero, not to frame it, but to just move the glove a little bit to make it look like it got the corner. Of course, a veteran catcher will do that all the time. 3-1. Time. Kennedy so far has walked 1. That was A.J. Ellis. But as we mentioned, normally his control is very good. Broken back ground ball to third. They will get the out at first. I'm not sure what happened to the third baseman, McDonald. John is mortified. His team is stunned. He can't believe what he did. What he did was forget how many outs there were. So instead of going to second with a force play or even just holding his ground, he made the play and he started to come off the field. Remember how embarrassed the Giant catcher Hector Sanchez was here when he ran off? And of course, if you're a manager, you just don't like that. That is not professional, and of course John would be the first to admit it. So instead of even trying for a double play, you have 2 out, a runner at second, and we'll see what Ethier does. That's right. Imagine if McDonald feels badly now, how he would feel if Ethier, who might not have come up in the inning, hits a home run. Andre with 14, 75 runs batted in. Well, the D-backs can afford to make a mistake once in a while. The Dodgers can't. Giants just beat the Astros 8-4. Giants coming from behind in all 3 games to sweep Houston. They're now 17-5 on the road since the All-Star break. 1-1. Check for a strike. By the way, the Giants will not leave the Pacific Coast time zone after they leave Chicago, their next series. Two runs, 7 hits for the D-backs. Just a base hit by Victorino so far for the Dodger offense. 1-2. Pickoff play, but no throw. Victorino going back in head first. 1-2 to count. You go back head first and the belt buckle is like a shovel. It scoops the dirt up right down into your pants. One and 2. Slap foul. Kennedy with those 2 fastballs, the 4-seamer, the so-called high hard one, and then the 2-seamer. Of course, Kennedy has given up a lot of home runs, as we mentioned, and one reason is he does not get a lot of ground balls. 3rd lowest rate of ground balls to fly balls. Still 1-2. So if you're going to be a ground ball pitcher, among other things, you'll get a lot of double plays. If you're not a ground ball pitcher, as Kennedy is, that means you're going to get not only a lot of fly balls, but a lot of home runs. And he's allowed 26. 1-2 to Andre Ethier. time. Montero out to talk to him. Most pitches in a game by Adam Kennedy this year. He had one game where he made 122 pitches. So there's a lot of bulldog in him. He's also lost 4 games where he pitched at least 6 innings and allowed 3 earned runs or less, so-called quality starts, and he lost 4 of them. The Arizona has lost 14 times in his starts, even though he's got 16 quality starts. So he lost a lot of tough ball games. One reason why he was 21-4 last year and 11-11 now. 2-2. Balls and 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at second. 2-0 Arizona. Victorino with Elmore riding his back. Another foul ball. Ian Kennedy is one of 9 pitchers since 1950 to win at least 20 games, make 30 starts, and record no more than 4 losses. That was last year. He joins people like Preacher Rowe, Whitey Ford, Ron Guidry, Dwight Gooden, Roger Clemens, Mike Hampton, Pedro Martinez, and Cliff Lee. I mean, you've got yourself quite a pitcher out there in Ian Kennedy. Fastball on the hand. So quite a battle here, Ethier and Kennedy. 8 pitches so far, and the count stays 2-2. You know, another thing about Kennedy, we were talking about how good he is against the National League West. Kennedy last year against the West, 10-0. On the hands, popped up, he jammed him. And it will be Aaron Hill. And that big sigh of relief you hear is from John McDonald as he sheepishly trots into the dugout. No run to hit, a man left. And at the end of 4, 2-0 D-back.
September 29th, 1979.
Manny Mota singles off Houston Astros Joe Sambito for his 146th career pinch hit, breaking the Major League record previously held by Smokey Burgess. Mota joined the Dodgers coaching staff the following season, but was activated in both 1980 and 1982 to be used in a pinch hit role once again. Manny Mota getting credit from several Dodgers, along with the hard work of Dave Hansen, how to swing the bat. Right about now, both men have to be a little puzzled. The Dodgers have 1 hit, a single by Shane Victorino, and that's it. Kennedy made 21 pitches, so through 4 innings, he's only had to make 57 pitches against the Dodgers. That battle between Kennedy and Ethier was a good one, and Kennedy won the battle. It was a 9-pitch at bat after what appeared to be a double play ball hit by Hanley Ramirez, and John McDonald forgot how many outs there were. He's off the hook, and it didn't bother Kennedy. Justin Upton doubled and struck out. We told you he's had a lot of trouble against Koufax in the past. One and two. We're in the fifth inning. Kershaw now over 80 pitches, 81 to be exact. Big overhand curve, 2-2. That was the pitch, remember, he threw to Upton to strike him out in the third inning. Upton with 11 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Fastball, little ground ball to Punto. One away. And the batter now will be Paul Goldschmidt, who walked and flied to right. Two runs, 7 hits for the D-backs, no runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Single by Victorino came leading off the fourth inning. Tried to time that pitch, pulled it too much. 1-1 the count. Goldschmidt has always hit well against the Western Division, and then not so well against the rest of the teams. Off speed on the corner. 1-2 the count. Kershaw has allowed 2 runs. Montero doubled and Young homered. And down goes Goldschmidt. 2 down, 7 strikeouts for Kershaw. You know, college football comes to Fox this Saturday. Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, Joey Harrington. They'll get you ready for kickoff. And then Heisman Trophy frontrunner Matt Barkley and #1 ranked USC take on Hawaii. The premiere of college football Saturday is this week on Saturday at 4 p.m. only on Fox. 2 down, Montero fouls it off. Miguel struck out and then doubled in the fourth inning, and that was followed by Chris Young's home run. Missed inside. Kennedy has limited the Dodgers to 1 hit and 1 walk. Dodgers have gotten 1 man to second base, and that's only because McDonald forgot how many outs there were. Kennedy has really dominated through 4 innings. This is the 4th time he and Kershaw have gone head to head. Kennedy has won 1 and Kershaw has won 2. And that'll do it for Montero. So after getting 6 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, he comes up with 2 more in the 5th for 8, but it's 2-0 D-backs. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T UVerse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourTV. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. By the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealers. And by Time Warner Cable. 2-0 in favor of Arizona. That's a heavy load for the Dodgers because they know that the Giants have beaten Houston. And Luis Cruz tries to wake up the offense and fouls it away. Dodgers have mustered 1 hit through 4 innings against Ian Kennedy. Cruz hit the ball hard and lined out in the 2nd inning to Gerardo Parra. 0-2 the count to Luis. Luis Cruz from Navajoa and makes his home in Sonora. No balls, 2 strikes. And a line drive, 1 hopper off the glove of Elmore. And Cruz a turn and holding. And a good strong throw by Parra to hustle him back to first. So here's Cruz. Brings back, among others, I think one of the first times, Jose Cruz, a very talented ball player for Houston. And then anyone with that last name, especially if they do something well. As Louis said when he first started, he thought they were booing. So a line drive, sinking line drive single that gets by Elmore. And here's Rivera with 7 home runs, grounded out in the 3rd inning. And a high strike, 0-1. The home run ball is always hanging over Kennedy's head like the sword of Damocles. He's given up 26. Cruz at first, nobody out in the 5th. And a strike. So Rivera now in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. 42 runs batted in for Juan. Playing left field tonight. A.J. Ellis hitting back of him. Matt Kemp banged up. Can't play, so Victorino played center. And Rivera starts in left. Oh, and 2. Poked down the right field line, slicing foul. 0-2 to Juan. Giants were down 4-0 and came back to win it 8-4. And the Giants are 17 and 4 or 5. 17 and 5 on the road. So their 3.5 lead for the moment is 4. If the Dodgers win, it'll revert to 3.5. If the Dodgers lose, it'll go to 4.5. Dodgers have 6 games left with the Giants. But in all honesty, the Giants have an easier schedule, and the Dodgers, among other things, have a schedule that would make you scratch your head. They have 3 on the road with the Giants. They have 4 with the Cardinals here at Dodger Stadium, and then they have a road trip where they play Washington and Cincinnati. They'll then finish up with San Diego, and the last 6 at home, 3 of which with the Giants. Foul back. Still 1-2 to Rivera. Luis Cruz, a leadoff single. Victorino led off the 4th inning with a single. Got to second base only on the McDonald play. In the dirt. So what kind of a game is Kennedy pitching? The only time the Dodgers have gotten him into second base is when a D-back infielder forgot how many outs there were. That's how good he's been pitching. Meanwhile, Clayton gave up that double to Montero, home run to Young, and despite the 8 strikeouts, he's down 2-0. 2-2 to Rivera. Just did get a little bit of that fastball. That was the two-seamer. And boy, you talk about staying alive at the plate. That was one tough pitch to handle. And Rivera just did get a little bit of the sinker going by. It was going by at 92 as well. And down he goes. So 1 out, Cruz holding. And the batter will be A.J. Ellis.
That's the pitcher, number 17.
That would be the 5th strikeout for Ian Kennedy. A.J. Ellis walked in the 3rd inning, but he was erased at second base when Kershaw bunted into a 4th play. One out, bottom of the 5th, 2-0 D-backs. For the Dodgers, unable to score for the moment. Dodgers have been shut out 4 times at home and 11 times this year. And a towering fly ball to deep left. Parr is back on the track and will make the catch. Though A.J. Ellis just does hit under it. Though A.J., who hit a monstrous home run in Colorado, hit the back wall of the Dodger bullpen in right center. Just missed, reeling in a big one. Got it up, ripped it, and it ran out of gas. So here's Clayton Kershaw. Bunted into a 4th play in the 3rd inning. Still 2-0 in favor of the D-backs. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Diamondbacks have made life miserable for the Dodgers. They've beaten them 8 out of 12. 6 straight. Oh, 0-1 to Kershaw. Been swinging a hot bat in August. Cruz at first, held on by Goldschmidt. Sliced foul. 0-2. Another foul ball, still 0-2. Pretty hard to get around on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. That was the 4-seamer. That was up on the outside part of the plate. That mean 2-seamer at 92 that he gave to Rivera was a caution all in itself. 0-2. 1-2 the count. Luis Cruz has stolen 2 bases, but you certainly don't expect him to go with 2 out and the pitcher at the plate. 1-2. Fouled away. Well, Kershaw hanging tough on the fastball. That was 91. Can't get around on it, but he's making contact. 2 runs, 7 hits for Arizona. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Will be in Arizona on the 11th and 12th of September. A changeup that really got away, like the string broke holding the balloon. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Game 1 tomorrow night. Trevor Cahill and Aaron Harang, couple of right-handers. Saturday at 6:10, left-hander Tyler Skaggs. Oh, the off-speed pitch, and Clayton had so many fastballs way out in front of it. So Kennedy strikes out 6. We have 5 in the books, and it's 2-0 Arizona. The Phillies, Hiroki Kuroda against Roy Halladay, and Kuroda was having the best of Philadelphia. In fact, he had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning. He was 5 outs away from the no-hitter and gave up a single to center by Shane Victorino. Kuroda finally came out with 2 out in the 8th inning. Hung Chi Kuo came in to finish off the shutout. Dodgers beat the Phillies 3-0 on a 1-hitter by Hiroki Kuroda. With that, let's go back to this one.
Hitting off the 6th inning, center fielder Chris Young.
Ian Kennedy has allowed only 2 hits. Clayton Kershaw going back to work, down 2-0. And it'll be Chris Young who hit that line drive home run to left field. It's interesting, the note that we gave you very early in the game. The 2 fellas on the D-backs who have not hit a lick against Kershaw are Upton and Young. And Upton doubled his first at-bat, and Young hit the 2-run home run in the 4th. Upton right now 1 for 3 as he sits in the dugout and waits. Young 1 for 2 and hits a flare. Here comes Victorino, but he can't get there. So Young, a fly ball single to center. He goes 2 for 3, and the batter will be Giovanni Parra. Parra has struck out and singled to right. Gerardo hitting .278, half a dozen home runs, 32 runs batted in. Normally, you would expect Jason Kubel to be starting against Clayton Kershaw. Kubel had just flat out stopped hitting, so they're giving him the night off. Kubel was something like 1 for 21. He'll just take a look at the game from a different perspective, and no doubt we will see him very, very soon. Off the plate. Parra having a look at Matt Williams. Parra has 20 doubles. Next one he picks up give him a career high. The last week, he's been hitting .333 off the plate and then picks up the corner. 2-1 the count. Kubel in the last 7 games, while Parr has been hitting, Kubel is just 1-for-21. Kershaw getting very close to 100 pitches. Kennedy, meanwhile, has made only 76. So you have Young with that fly ball single leading off the 6th inning, and he runs well. There he goes. Pitch is a strike at the plate. The throw got him. And Young knew it, left immediately. Perfect throw by A.J. Ellis. He had a little bit of a tougher pitch to handle. Admittedly, it was on his throwing side. It's inside, so he was able to make the accurate throw and the quick tag by Hanley Ramirez. So to get Young stealing, he had stolen 8 out of 10. Little foul ball. 2-2 the count. So Parra hanging tough. Young back in the dugout. 1 away. Good play by A.J. Ellis. Strong throw. And slice base hit to left field. So the Dodgers can thank their stars that Young was caught. Instead of first and second and nobody out, you have a runner at first and 1 out, and John McDonald coming up. Kershaw now has allowed 2 runs and 9 hits, and his next pitch will be number 100. McDonald has struck out, then got lucky in the 4th inning, broke his bat, hit a flare over the head of Cruz, and beat Hanley Ramirez's throw backing up. Ball 1. John again checking with Matt Williams. And that's pop foul coming back, A.J., but no play. A reminder about Gerardo Parra. He is 2 for 3. However, he's a danger on the base paths. He has stolen 13, but, and it's a pretty big but, he's been picked off 8 times. And you have a pretty good move by Kershaw. So we'll see what develops here. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a foul ball down the line, out of play. When the Dodgers come up in the 6th inning, they'll have the top of the lineup: Punto, Victorino, and Gonzalez. Dodgers are not going to go very far on 2 hits. Victorino a single in the 4th, Cruz a single in the 5th, and that's it. Messes Gonzalez, Ramirez, Ethier, all silent. A collective 0-for-6. Big breaking ball. 1-2 to John McDonald. Giants won. They beat the Astros. They did it the hard way. They spotted Houston 4, came back to tie, and went on to win it 8-4. Dodgers must win to remain 3.5 back. 30 games left after tonight. 16 games left at home after tonight. You know time is running out when you start hearing about SC playing on Saturday, UCLA playing today. By the way, how did UCLA do, I wonder? I think the very first play for the young quarterback, he ran 70 some odd yards to beat Rice in the rain. One and two, the count to John McDonald. Kershaw had a ball called on him when McDonald was up back in the fourth inning. It sent Parr to second. One and two. There goes Parr. The pitch is high. Oh, what a throw. Perfect throw. Wow. AJ, take a bow. Don't put the mask on. Gee. Parr's a pretty good base stealer, but watch this. Got a nice high pitch and a perfect throw. Right there waiting for him. 2-4 if you're scoring. Though he got Young, now he gets Parr. Ball 3 to McDonald. The Parr is erased. The one thing that helped AJ was where the pitch was. It was up. So he was coming up out of his crouch, handling the throw, and then fired an arrow. Fastball just off the plate. Kershaw was walking off the mound. Just kind of looks at the umpire, Marty Foster, but nothing else. He thought it had the corner. Marty said no. So Clayton will have to go back to work and face Ian Kennedy. Final score, UCLA 49, Rice 24. So UCLA and Jim Morris starts off with a victory. Oh, 0-1. Foul ball out of play. 0-2. To repeat, when the Dodgers come up in the sixth inning, Punto, Victorino, and Gonzalez. Punto has struck out twice. Victorino is 1 for 2. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. Ramirez 0 for 2. Ethier 0 for 2. On the corner, strike 3 called. 9 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. No runs, 2 hits. Ellis throws out 2 men. Brilliant inning for AJ. And we're heading to the bottom of the 6th, 2-0, Arizona. Kennedy has 6 of them. It started in the very first inning with the leadoff man, Nick Punto. Ian, a local boy, felt right at home as he strikes out Punto and then nails Adrian Gonzalez. After that, it was Andre Ethier moving right along. It was Punto, followed by Rivera, and then Clayton Kershaw. Ian pitching a 2-hitter thus far as he goes to work against Punto, Victorino, and Gonzalez. So a 21-game winner last year who's been victimized, should be better than 11-11, but certainly on his game tonight. That's a strike. 0-1. The 2 runs came quickly in the 4th inning. Miguel Montero doubled over Andre Ethier's head, and Chris Young hit a line drive home run just inside the left field foul pole. Now Punto twice has struck out on 4 seamers above the strike zone. So let's see if Kennedy goes up in that area again. No balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away. Kershaw making 19 pitches in the 6th inning as he talks to A.J. Ellis, has now made 110. Oh, and 2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jamie Wright warming up. 1-2 the count to Punto. There's that high fastball, and this time Nick took it. Sooner or later with 2 strikes, you're looking for that. It got him twice, but not this time. On deck, waiting his turn, Victorino. 2-2. Ground ball to the hole. Back to get it is Elmore. Good throw. Punto, a scrambler, is thrown out. Trying his best. 1 away. Crowd always appreciates hustle, and certainly Punto is anything but short of that. So 1 away, and Shane Victorino coming up. Victorino popped up on the first pitch in the 1st inning. Then later in the 4th, single to center. On deck, Adrian Gonzalez. And a strike. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. 0-2. Fastball at 90. The location was perfect, up and in. Oh, and 2. Off speed. Backhanded nicely by McDonald to get him. So that was a change. And Victorino poking it at John McDonald. 2 down. And the batter will be Gonzalez. Time to get you thinking a little bit. And here's the question. Since 06, Adrian Gonzalez ranks 2nd in the majors with 1,043 starts at first base. That's a lot of starts. But who ranks first? Give you the answer. Adrian hitting .227. Strike on the outside corner. Kennedy walked A.J. Ellis in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, he'd been right on the plate. off speed, little ground ball. Hill takes care of that. The Dodgers roll over quietly in the 6th inning on 3 ground balls, which is not the way Kennedy normally pitches. And at the end of 6, 2-0 D-backs. Looking at Kershaw for the last moment. Clayton made 110 pitches. Kennedy breezing along at 87. The big difference, one swing by Chris Young. Now Kershaw normally handles Young very, very well, but tonight Young hits the home run with Montero aboard, and that boils it down very simply. The fact the Dodgers with only 2 hits against Ian Kennedy, and Kershaw after 110 pitches will leave the game. Kennedy has made 87 pitches and right now will be pitching to the top of the Arizona lineup: Aaron Hill, Jake Elmore, Justin Upton. But the Dodger offense that suddenly sputtered and brought the car to a standstill during the last homestand, then went to Colorado where you expected them to score a lot, and they proceeded by being shut out the first game and losing 10-0. Now they come home where they have not done well since the end of May, and they've been shut out on a 2-hitter. Ian Kennedy, granted, has been wonderful, and he just outpitched Kershaw. Kershaw went 6, allowed 2 runs and 9 hits, 3 walks, one of them intentionally granted. He struck out 9. So Wright is asked to hold that tiger and hope that the Dodger offense can come back. The Giants won. Fastball, chopper, short hop by Cruz. One away. Luis Cruz handling the ground ball, and Jake Elmore, the shortstop, coming up.
14, Jake Elmore.
Elmore fly deep to left, single to the hole at short, and hit into a double play. You know, we were talking about the fact that the Dodgers have not won at home. And if you're not winning at home, you certainly don't expect to win on the road. We mentioned that since May the 28th, the Dodgers are 14-24. Since the All-Star break, they played 21 games and they've won 8. 0-1. Now the Giants, meanwhile, are doing it the other way. The Giants are 17-5 on the road since the All-Star break. One and one to Jake Elmore on the corner. Jamie Wright, pretty much of a workhorse. Jamie's been in 49 games, and his record is 5-3. Two and two. Elmore hitting .211. Little roller to short. Hanley Ramirez gets him. So Elmore, little ground ball, and the batter Justin Upton. For Elmore, a chance for the D-backs to look at him. You know, they sent Stephen Drew away to Oakland. Drew, of course, was a mainstay of their infield, then had that horrific accident tearing up his ankle, never could come back, and they finally sent him away. Another fella who may or may not appear in the game tonight is the closer for Arizona, J.J. Putz. Putz has 26 saves, and Arizona has to make up their mind about him. They have a chance of renewing his contract, but that's a raise of a couple of $1 million or a buyout, because Mr. Putz can file for free agency. So very much the D-backs are in transition, and we mentioned at the start of the game they have said goodbye and said hello to a total of 24 players. 14 pitchers and 10 position players. So a lot of comings and going in Arizona. A drive to center. Victorino is at the other end of it. A 1-2-3 inning for Jamie Rice. And we're heading to the bottom of the seventh. 2-0 D-backs. Only not the kind the Dodgers want. Boiled down to 2 singles, a murmur of protest, and no runs. So we'll see what happens now in the 7th with Ramirez, Ethier, and Cruz. Ball 1 to Hanley, who popped up, grounded to third, 0 for 2. One ball and no strikes. That was a straight change. Got it over 1-1. Kennedy's just been great. He walked A.J. Ellis, and that's it. One and two. Showing that 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count 2-2. If you joined us late, the only 2 runs, kind of a left hook and a right cross. Montero doubled to right. Chris Young line drive home run to left, and that's it. 2 runs, 9 hits for the D-backs. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers, and there it is. Strike 3, and down goes Ramirez. And Kennedy picks up his 7th strikeout. Say, you know, Tuesday at 7:10, fans with the first 30,000 tickets receive an adult Matt Kemp replica jersey. Compliments of State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. So 1 away, and here's Andre Ethier, struck out, had a 9-pitch at bat in the 4th inning before popping up. That was the 1 inning the Dodgers had a huge break. Ramirez hit a ground ball to third. John McDonald thought there were 2 outs and threw the first. He might have had a double play. That allowed, among other things, Victorino to be at second, and it allowed Ethier to come up with a chance to get even with 1 swing. Instead, Ethier gave it a battle, but then popped up. So the only Dodger to get to second base got there when an Arizona infielder forgot how many outs there were. That's how tough Ian Kennedy is. He looks like a 21-game winner tonight. Sinker misses. So Ian behind 3-0. Went to La Quinta High School in Huntington Beach. That's a strike. Kennedy began the year with a career record of 31-18. And ball 4. So Ethier to first. That'll bring up Luis Cruz. Cruz lined out to Gerardo Parra and single to left. So he's 1 for 2. So Ethier at first. Cruz representing the tying run. Juan Rivera hitting back of him. And a meeting at the mound. Ethier over at first does not do much running. He has stolen 2 out of 3, but down by 2, you don't expect him to run. And Luis Cruz trying to get the Dodgers and an offense going. He has 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in. So Kennedy slowly making his way to 100 pitches. Remember, we mentioned earlier his high pitch count for 1 game, 122 pitches. Brad Ziegler, a right-hander, is warming up now in the Arizona pen. The loser tonight gets hurt. The Giants won 8-4. Good fastball at 92. 0-1 the count. Ethier short lead. They certainly don't expect him to do any running. He's kind of gesturing over to Tim Wallach to go through the sign again. Okay, we'll see whether that means there's a play on. Rounded into just one double play. And he's hit by the pitch on the left arm. So Ian Kennedy has now hit 12 batters. That's a little high. Fastball in, got him on the left arm. So the Dodgers, for the first time tonight, have 2 on in an inning. A walk and a hit batter. Meanwhile, Kirk Gibson and Alan Trammell. And we'll see. Is Kirk going to come and get him? Well, we'll see. Rivera has grounded out and struck out. And Gibby making his way, not in the dramatic style of 1988, using the bat as a cane in that unforgettable sight. But that's it for Kennedy. I don't think he made 100 pitches. He was just about on the edge of it. And we'll be right back. The third, he made 99 pitches, allowed only 2 hits, and for the first time tonight, the Dodgers have 2 men on base, and it took a walk and a hit batter. So Brad Ziegler out of Pratt, Kansas, and Springfield, Missouri is brought in. Ziegler, prior to tonight, has inherited 45 runners, and only 11 have scored. He has also induced 14 double plays. Juan Rivera will check in against him. 2 on, Ethier and Cruz, 1 out, 2-0 Arizona. For the Dodgers, really their first look at the game. Ball 1. Rivera grounded to short, struck out. So Kennedy struck out 7 and comes out. Brandon League is throwing in the Dodger bullpen. A.J. Ellis on deck. Ground foul. Ziegler's 31 years old. He picked up national attention about 4 years ago He set a major league record for scoreless innings to begin a career. He started his career in the big leagues with 39 consecutive scoreless innings. That's with the Oakland A's back in '08. He grew up about 20 miles from Albert Pujols, though they were in contact a bit, playing against each other. 2-1 the count. Ethier at second, Cruz at first. Ziegler, as you can imagine, tries to keep the ball down, which is why he has gotten so many double plays. And ground ball up the middle, smothered. They're going to get one. They are going to get two on a great play by Aaron Hill. So Juan Rivera losing a base hit, and up pops the devil as far as the Dodgers are concerned. And for Ziegler, it's another ho-hum double play. Not quite. And the D-backs lead the Dodgers 2-0. Much to reset. Chris Young hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning against Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers have mustered a grand total of 2 singles. Ian Kennedy outpitched Kershaw, striking out 7, not allowing any earned runs. And then Brad Ziegler came in and came up with his 15th double play to bail out the starting pitcher. Charles Nagy talking to Ian. Meanwhile, Paul Goldschmidt will start it off against Jamie Wright in the 8th inning. Ball 1. The paid attendance tonight, it has thinned out a little bit now at work tomorrow. 54,621. 54,621. And we're in the 8th. And a strike. Down in the Dodger bullpen, their only left-handed reliever, remember Scott Elbert is ailing, so Randy Choate gets up. Ronald Belisario, who would be the closer pretty much until we find out more about Kenley Jansen. For Jamie Wright, this will be his last inning. He's due to bat second when the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 8th. 1-2. Ground foul. Belisario up in the bullpen. Before the game, Don Mattingly talking about a closer, and he said, well, Belisario had 5 outs yesterday, so Brandon League might be the closer for tonight. 1-2. Little ground ball wide of third. Nice pick by Cruz. Gets him. One away. Kenley Jansen is the big question mark.
Catcher, number 26,
This year,
is
25
Montero.
saves, great ERA 2.5. Last year, he missed 4 weeks with a heart condition. They gave him a blood thinner, but what it does to correct the irregular heartbeat, it then puts him in danger of any kind of a cut. Almost, I guess, as if you were a hemophiliac, where you can almost bleed to death with the slightest cut. So last year they said, you're not even going to sit in the dugout. Well, from what I know, which is nothing, he did not relieve in Colorado. And the only thing we heard was that Kenley had a similar situation as he suffered from last year. But will it be the same treatment? We honestly don't know. 0-1. Little ground ball to Gonzalez. He'll feed his man right. 2 down. That will bring up Chris Young, and he is the difference in the game. He had struck out in the second inning, but in the 4th inning, he connected. It was almost a line drive down the left field line, just inside the foul pole. That's all that counts. 2 rows back. He stopped at first, had to go back and step on the bag. He was busy watching the flight of the ball, and happily for him, came around with his 14th home run, and he now has 38 runs batted in. The tall right-handed David Hernandez is warming up now in the Arizona bullpen. When the Dodgers come up in the 8th, A.J. Ellis, then a hitter for Wright and Punto. Ellis has walked, flied to left. Punto 0 for 3. Victorino 1 for 3. With a right-hander pitching, and you look at the Dodger bench, Adam Kennedy is the number 1 to be called on, most used as a pinch hitter. Kennedy, then probably Uribe in there. Two runs, 9 hits for the D-backs, no runs, 2 singles for the Dodgers. This is a club with 5 hitters who have struck out at least 100 times. Young, however, has only struck out 71 times. 2-2. Fastball, little dribbler, trouble. Ramirez got him on a nice play. And Young runs well. To Hanley, a fine play on that little dribbler. Down go the D-backs. Take another look. It's by right. Bare hand pickup, off balance throw, and we're heading to the bottom of the 8th. 2-0 D-backs. 2-0. Just in case we got your question about 2006, Adrian Gonzalez, second in the majors, 1,043 starts at first base. Who ranked first? Prince Fielder, 1,066. Well, Frank Sinatra's singing in the background, "Come Fly With Me," but there's not much flying going on here. It's 2-0 D-backs. The Dodgers have been severely grounded, and they'll now face David Hernandez. David, out of Sacramento, was originally drafted by the Orioles 7 years ago. He's 6'3", 215, turned 27. Drafted 3 times by the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and the Orioles, and then eventually signed with the D-backs. 2-0. A.J. Ellis walked, cut down, and flied to left. Made 2 great throws in the 6th inning to nail Chris Young and Gerardo Parra. Adam Kennedy, as expected, out on deck. 2-1. So it's been Ian Kennedy, then Ziegler, who made 4 pitches and got the double play. And now Hernandez. Fastball lifted to right center, but playable. Just enough in his head. So A.J. a fly ball to right, 1 away. And the batter will be Adam Kennedy. Kennedy has come off the bench 24 times as a pinch hitter. He is 7 for 24. That's terrific. Hitting .292, come into the game cold. So Adam trying to get something started here with Nick Punto on deck. Giants defeated the Astros. They were down 4-0, came back to win it 8-4. So somebody gets hurt tonight. The Dodgers could fall 4.5 back, or if Arizona loses, they would fall 10.5 back. Kennedy at it again. Line drive single to right field. So the veteran coming off the bench has just been dynamite. Beautiful form. So the base hit will bring up Nick Punto, who is 0 for 3. The hit charge against Hernandez. Dodgers have had 2 men on base once tonight. That was in the 7th inning, and then Rivera hit into a double play. Although in all honesty, what happened was he was robbed of a base hit by Aaron Hill. Ball 1. Hernandez got A.J. Ellis. He is dynamite against right-hand batters. They're hitting 140 against him. 140. Basically, fastball, curveball, and a changeup. Fastball in there. 1-1. That fastball was clocked at 96. Hernandez, when he is on, gets quite a few strikeouts. He has 21 walks, 82 strikeouts. Little pop fly, it'll be Elmore. So Punto pops it up. We have 2 down here in the 8th inning, and Shane Victorino coming up. Victorino 1 for 3. Dodgers with a grand total of 3 hits. A single by Victorino in the 4th, a single by Cruz in the 5th, and a 1-out single by Kennedy here in the 8th. That's it. Dodgers continue to struggle at home. New ball. Dodgers faced with a defeat. If so, since the 28th of May, they will be 14-25 here at Dodger Stadium. Big breaking ball that drops in for a strike. One thing about David Hernandez, however, he has blown saves 5 times. To his credit, as a man who gets holds, he has 19 of those. 0-1. Check swing. 0-2 the count. Remember, the Diamondbacks came in here having lost 6 straight at home. But they've also beaten the Dodgers 6 straight and 8 out of 10 here at Dodger Stadium. 0-2 to Victorino. One and two. One of the things Hernandez does, as Adrian Gonzalez waits on deck, the way Hernandez pitches, especially without a man on, it seems like the ball disappears behind his head. And the breaking ball, and Shane completely fooled, and down he goes. So no runs, just that one little hit. And at the end of 8, 2-0 Arizona. The D-backs leading the Dodgers 2-0. A reminder, tomorrow it'll be a battle of right-handers. 9 game winners, Trevor Cahill and Aaron Harang. That's game 2. Then game 3, you have the left-handers going, and that would be Tyler Skaggs against Josh Beckett. And then Sunday, the concluding game, Wade Miley and Chris Capuano. Adam Kennedy, after batting 9th and getting a base hit, stays in the game, though you can put Brandon League in Punto's spot. And we go to the 9th inning with Gerardo Parra. And ball 1. Parra struck out, single to right, single to left. in the dirt. 2-0 to Gerardo. So Brandon Lee out of Sacramento, who makes his home in Honolulu, grew up, went to high school at St. Louis High School in Honolulu, played for Team USA's junior squad. And that's going to be right into the glove of Henry Ramirez. So Parr losing a third hit, and we have one out in the top of the ninth.
Third baseman, number 16, John McDonald.
John McDonald, the third baseman, struck out, broke his bat, and got a base hit and walked. John hitting .236. When the Dodgers come up in the ninth inning, it will be Adrian Gonzalez, Hanley Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. Ball one. Jason Kubel, who has not been hitting at all, is on deck to bat for Hernandez. One ball, no strikes. Ground ball to Ramirez. Hanley in the dirt. Nice play at the other end by Gonzalez. You know, you can subscribe to MLB.TV today, take advantage of new low pricing, and see every remaining Dodger out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. So visit Dodgers.com to order, get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. 2 down, and here's Jason Kubel. He had one hit in his last 21 at-bats. So they sat him down tonight. Chances are he'll be back in there very soon. Kubel gives the D-backs some sock, and a lot of it. He has 26 home runs, 80 runs batted in. Two and 0. Kubel normally starts, so he's just 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Fouled away. 2-1. Kubel had a big game against the Astros the end of July. Hit 3 home runs in the game. With 26, he had 28 home runs 3 years ago. Career high. 3-1. Brandon Lee trying to get a couple of outs. Last 8 in a row have been retired by Dodger pitching. Last man to get aboard was John McDonald. He walked in the 6th inning. Three and 2 to Jason. Waiting on deck, Aaron Hill. So Kubel draws the walk with 2 out. Aaron Hill coming up, fly to left, singled, walked intentionally, grounded out, but more importantly, in the 7th inning, it was his glove. Dodgers had 2 on and 1 out. Rivera hit a ball that looked like it was going to go up the middle for a base hit. Hill not only smothered it, but turned it into a double play. And that's been the big play. Now he whacks one down the line for a base hit. Kubel is going to be stopped at third on the double by Aaron Hill. So the D-backs trying to come up with something else at the expense of Brandon Lee. And Hill all over it as he doubles down the line. So Hill 32 doubles. Kubel is at third. And here's Jake Elmore. Fly deep to left. Single to the hole at short. Hit into a double play and grounded to short. sinker for a strike. Another sinker, slow roller, tough play for Cruz, and he makes it. So a good play by Luis. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left, and the Dodgers, Gonzalez, Ramirez, and Ethier down 2-0 in the 9th. Of the 9th inning, and the remarkable Mr. J.J. Putz coming in. Joseph J. Putz by name, taught to throw a baseball by his father, and grew up to be a very, very talented reliever. He has saved as many as 45 games for the D-backs last year, and as he comes in tonight, he has 26 saves as he tries to close up shop. For the Dodgers, Adrian Gonzalez 0 for 3, Hanley Ramirez 0 for 3, Andre Ethier 0 for 2. So the heart of the Dodger lineup is 0 for 8. So here we go, bottom of the 9th, 2-0 D-backs. And a strike. Adrian Gonzalez 2 for 6 in the past against Putz. Hanley Ramirez 0 for 4, and Andre Ethier 0 for 5. So he is tough. And a fly ball to shallow right, and Upton's going to have to play it on a bounce. He was playing Gonzalez slightly short of Pasadena, and the fly ball drops in. So that'll bring up Hanley Ramirez. Upton trying to come back in and couldn't do it. So for only the second time tonight, Dodgers get a leadoff single. 3 times a leadoff single. And Ramirez 0 for 3 coming up. And the crowd, those who have stayed, trying to cheer Hanley Ramirez and the Dodgers on. Ramirez hitting .254. Fastball 0-1. Fastball at 94. J.J. Putz is a big man. He is 6'5" and at least 250. From Trenton, Michigan. His father was a football player who taught J.J. how to throw a baseball. Oh, and 1. And a drive down the left field line in the corner. Foul ball. Eric Cooper right on the line to call it. Adrian Gonzalez returns to first. Looked like it was going to hook early, and it did. Nice catch. Hat trick. The most noise they've made during the game tonight. Now back. Hanley popped to third, grounded to third, struck out. Trying to get something going here. Hitting .254. Hanley has 22 home runs, 82 runs batted in, and Andre Ethier waits on deck. Meanwhile, Gibson has played his cards. Kennedy, Ziegler came in to get the double play he's famous for. Then Hernandez, and now the closer. Gonzalez at first, nobody out. And that's going to be a base hit. Stopping at second is Gonzalez. So the Dodgers trying desperately to get off the floor. First and second, nobody out. And Andre Ethier coming up. For the Dodgers, a late flurry. For the first time tonight, back-to-back singles. For the first time to get back-to-back people on board. It was the 7th inning on a walk and a hit batter. Puts is 1-4. 8 walks, 49 strikeouts. So a little better than 6-1. Oh, and 1. That first pitch that Andre Ethier swung at and missed, that's a splitter that Putz picked up about 7 years ago. Tough pitch. 0-1. Squirted foul. 0-2. So basically the hitters know 2-seamer and a 4-seamer, a hard slider, pretty good curveball, pretty decent changeup, and then of course the addition of the splitter, and he started Andre with that. So it's not a full house, but it is a highly spirited crowd. 0-2 the count. 2 on, nobody out, 2-0 D-backs, 9th inning. Little roller. Hill gets a feed. The throw to first, not in time. I'm wondering if Hanley Ramirez slowed Aaron Hill down just enough to prevent the double play. Take another look. On that ground ball, Ramirez stops. Nope. I thought maybe he slowed him down, but he didn't. Never even looked at Ramirez. So it's a force play. For the first time tonight, the Dodgers get a runner at third. So they have first and third, 1 out. Luis Cruz coming up. Juan Rivera on deck. The Cruz, who might not have seen Putz before, when he saw that first pitch to Andre Ethier, the big splitter that Putz has, that puts a lot of tough thoughts in your mind. One out, first and third, 2-0 D-backs. Cruz lined out, single, hit by a pitch. Right. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Cruz checking with Wallach. Putz, 35 years old, and has been a pro since 1999. 0-2. Putz signed with the Mariners out of the University of Michigan. Came up with the Mariners in 03, stayed with them through 08. Then he had a year with the Mets, a year with the White Sox, and this is his second year with the D-backs. And as we mentioned at the very start, Arizona has to make a big decision. Do they re-sign Putz? They'll pick up additional money, always serve the payout. Shows him a fastball up. You're not going to get very many pitches high. 1-2 to count. One thing most people do if they have the chance, they run on Putz. The success against him is 80%. But you don't expect Ethier to do much running. And another high pitch, 2-2. In his career, Putz has only caught 9 runners and surrendered 37 stolen bases. Squirted foul ball, I believe. No play. No play. Miguel Montero, smart play. He wasn't going to umpire. He just made the play. The plate umpire, Marty Foster, immediately comes up, takes one look, and then indicates hold everything. But Montero's not about to hold. He'll wait and find out. Marty gesturing as to where that ball wound up. So a foul ball, 2-2 to count. Two and two to Luis Cruz. And a fly ball to left field. We will see about Parra now and what Gonzalez will do. The throw goes into second, but the Dodgers are not going to gamble, so they kept the veteran at third base. So Cruz, a fly ball, but not deep enough. And the batter now will be Rivera. You can watch Parra throwing to second. Cruz thinking, well, I got an RBI. And then he goes, oh, darn it. In Spanish. So here's Rivera. Grounded to short, struck out, grounded into a double play. So the Dodgers are 1 out away from falling 4.5 games behind the Giants. Rivera lost a base hit when Aaron Hill smothered his ball up the middle and turned it into a double play to end the 7th inning. 2 runs, 10 hits for Arizona. No runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. fouled away. For J.J. Putz, throwing splitters and keeping the ball down, he does have 3 wild pitches. Over at third, Adrian Gonzalez, who wouldn't try to come in on the fly ball so late in the game. Ethier at first. Oh, and 1 to Juan Rivera. One ball and 1 strike. Putz, when he was going to the University of Michigan, Tom Brady lived in his dorm. But as he said, Brady was too quiet just watching film. Throwing at 93, but up, and the count 2-1. Putz was a catcher until his junior year in high school, but his offensive capabilities were lacking, and they finally put him to the mound. Next thing you know, he was throwing in the low 90s right away, and he had himself a career. First and third, 2 out, 9th inning, 2-0 Arizona, trying to beat the Dodgers for the 7th straight time. And a pop fly. It'll be Elmore, and that will do it. No runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. Arizona has beaten the Dodgers 7 straight, 9 of 11 at Dodger Stadium, and the Dodgers fall 4.5 games behind the San Francisco Giants. The Dodgers are now only 5 games above 500 at home. They are 14-25 at home since the 28th of May. That'll do it for tonight. Have a very pleasant evening, and we'll wish you now good evening, everybody.